Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Crayon Lane Teach. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between phonological awareness, phonemic awareness and phonics. So if that's something that you would like to learn more about, then keep on watching. Don't forget to like this video if you find it useful, and if you would like to see more videos like this in the future, remember to subscribe. Let's get to it. So you may have heard of the terms phonological awareness, phonemic awareness and phonics and wondered what is the difference between these three things. So today we're going to be looking at exactly what each of these three things are, as well as what order you should be teaching these three things with your children. Now, if you want to learn more about teaching your children to read or anything about that, you can actually visit my blog crayonlaneteach.com, and I'll actually leave a couple of links in the description below to a couple of blog posts that you might find useful. Also, if you are looking at phonological awareness with your children and you're wanting to see where they are with their phonological awareness, I've also got a free downloadable phonological awareness pack, which I'll leave in the description below as well. So if you want to download that, have a look at that with your children, that'll be there too. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is phonemic awareness. So phonemic awareness focuses on your child's ability to sort of focus on sounds and words and to manipulate sounds and words. So it's very much a verbal thing that they would do. They wouldn't be writing any of the sounds at this stage. Now, phonemic awareness looks at 7 different skills. So phonological awareness comes into this as well, and we're going to be talking a little bit more of that later. But it'll be looking at a child's ability to isolate sounds in a word, so actually picking out one sound from a word. It'd also be looking at your child's ability to blend sounds together, but again doing this verbally. It'd also be looking at your child's abilities to segment sounds, so breaking up the sounds in a word, as well as deleting the sounds, so taking sounds away from a word. So if they were thinking about the word cat, can they take away the beginning sound and know that it would be at? We'd also be looking at adding sounds, so doing the opposite of that, so looking at the word at and then maybe saying to them, right, can you put a k at the beginning, what word does that make? And then the last thing you'd be looking at is if your child can then substitute sounds, so maybe switch the k at the beginning of cat to a b to then make bat. So if they can do all of these things verbally, doing it all through spoken words and maybe doing it through games and things, that would show that your child has actually got quite a good awareness of their sounds. So now we're going to move on to phonological awareness. So phonological awareness is a much more broader set of skills than phonemic awareness, and phonological awareness looks at identifying and manipulating sounds. So some of the skills that would be included in this area would be maybe your child's ability to count syllables. So the way that I do this is I kind of ask them to clap how many syllables are in a word, and I would always model this so that they know how to do it themselves. A lot of children really enjoy counting syllables in their own names, and that's kind of how I introduce that. Another area that we'd be looking at for phonological awareness would be to see if your children can recognise and then produce rhyme, and you can do this through lots of storybooks, nursery rhymes, lots of different songs and things, and again your children really enjoy doing this. They love, my kids anyway, love learning about rhyming. Another area that you'd be looking at for phonological awareness would be segmenting the beginning sounds of a word and the ending sounds. So asking, can your child identify what is the beginning sound and what is the end sound, and again, can they say it? So again, a lot of these skills for your phonological awareness would be looking at the verbal side of things. We wouldn't really be writing anything down for this. It's all about if your children can actually hear all these things and then produce things like rhyme, figure out the syllables, all that kind of stuff. Another area that you could be looking at would be alliteration, so seeing if your children know that words that begin with the same sound, and again a lot of my children really enjoy learning about this, and there's tons of stories, tons of songs that you can do this through to make it really fun for your children. Blending sounds together to make words would also be another area for this as well, so it's very similar to phonemic awareness, and again you can easily do this verbally just by getting your children to say the sounds, or you modelling saying the sounds in a word. So again, asking them maybe to say, right, at, like, can you blend these together verbally? And then getting your children to discriminate sounds. So this is very similar to, I suppose, picking out the beginning and ending sounds, but maybe also looking at the middle sounds as well in a word and seeing if they can pick those out verbally, if they can hear them. And then the last thing that you'd be looking at, which is a little bit more advanced, would be asking if your child can actually segment sentences. So breaking sentences up into words. So these are all the skills that you'd be looking at for phonological awareness. So next we're going to have a look at phonics. So phonics is a relationship between sounds and then the letters that represent those sounds. So the written letters that represent the sounds. Now phonics is made up of 44 phonemes. Phonemes is the smallest unit of speech. So when your children are going to be learning about phonics in your class or at home or whatever they're learning about their phonics, they're going to be learning 44 different sounds or phonemes. Now we also have digraphs in phonics. Digraphs are two letters that make one sound. So an example of a digraph would be the sound sh, because the sh sound is made with two letters, s and h. Another example of a digraph would be ch. Again, ch is made of two letters but makes one sound, and it's made with the letter k and h, and it makes the sound ch when we put them together. In phonics, we also have trigraphs. Now, trigraphs are made of three letters that make one sound. So an example of a trigraph would be the sound I, and that would be made up with the letters I, g, h, and when you put them together, they make the sound I. So when you're looking into phonics, you might have also heard of the word grapheme and be wondering what that is. So a grapheme is what we call the letters or groups of letters that we use to represent a sound or a phoneme. So now that you know the difference between phonemic awareness, phonological awareness and phonics, you might be wondering what is the right order to teach these three things in with my children or my class. So before children can use their phonics knowledge to successfully decode or encode words, they need to understand that words can actually be broken up into individual sounds, and they need to know how to manipulate these sounds. So it's really good to start off with looking at their phonological awareness and phonemic awareness first before moving on to phonics. However, even though it's good to look at these two things first, you can actually teach your phonemic awareness and phonological awareness at the same time as phonics because they interlink really well. So overall, the three different areas that we've been looking at, phonological awareness, phonemic awareness and phonics, are all really similar. And as I said before, they do interlink really well. Even though you can teach them at the same time, there's no harm in looking at phonics and then going back and revisiting things like rhyme or syllables with your children. The ideal order would be to kind of look at phonemic awareness and phonological awareness first and then move on to phonics. And one of the reasons for this is it actually makes your children being able to learn phonics a lot easier for them. Now, if you would like to learn more about how to teach your children how to read, or even to figure out if your children are ready to learn how to read, I've actually written a blog post on my blog, Crayon Teach. I'm going to leave a link for that in the description below, and I also have a couple of other blog posts that you might find useful that are related to literacy and teaching how to read and teaching about phonics and things as well. If you do have a class that is at the stage where they are learning to read or they're learning phonics, or even if you have some children in your class and you're thinking, actually, I'm not too sure if they're ready to learn phonics yet, I need to maybe check where they are with their phonological awareness, I've actually got a free downloadable pack that I'll link in the description below that lets you look at all the different skills that we talked about for phonological awareness, so things like syllables, rhyming, picking out beginning sounds and things like that, and you can use these activities to help you decide if your child has got a good level of phonological awareness before you then go on to try to look at phonics or reading with them. So as I said, if you're interested in that, there's a free download of it in the description below, so I'll leave the link for that there. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found this video useful. Please make sure to like it if you did, and if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, make sure and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.